Lisanne Miller with W, Cushing and Company, and it's in the library with Lisanne for May. So last month we did Gardens in Bloom, Flowers in Bloom by Jane Hollowell Green because the flowers were starting to come up. We're going to go in a little different vein today, but I wanted to go over first some of the books that we still have available on our website, www.wcushing.com, and you'll see a tab that says in the library, and all the books that we have available are there. So for example, we have the baby animals, and the baby farm animals are great. They're great books. They're wonderful for eyes, for all sorts of things. And we have, these are baby farm animals, so if you missed it, it is up on our YouTube channel, W Cushing YouTube, and you'll see all of them. But you see if you need to do puppies' eyes, if you need to look at fences. And then this is baby animals. There's a little fox, a bunny, also goes over grasses. The Rug Hook book by Tom Boswell. We have hardcovers in with their jackets. So this book is excellent, wonderful resource. You can look at the In the Library piece to see all of the details of this book. This is a great book to go over with the summer. It's light reading. I love this book. It's Hooked Rugs, an American Folk Art by Leslie Lindsay, and shows you how to use them in your house, but also shows you different ways to hook fruit, etc. Again, check out our In the Library video on that. We also have the blue and the yellow. We only have one blue left in soft cover of the Joan Moshimer Complete Book of Rug Hooking. We have 3 of these left. So make sure you get these while you can. These are an excellent resource. They have dye formulas in them. Just an excellent resource of information. One left. We just got another one in. This is the Cynthia Norwood first book, Creating an Antique Look in Hand-Hooked Rugs. 2 months ago, this was the feature. We sold out. We do have one left. We have one Cop book left. Again, excellent, excellent resource. Excellent way for it to look at antique rugs, to see how you'd like to hook them, all sorts of things like that. So that's what we have in the archive in the library for you to purchase. Today we're going to go over some fun things. It's summer. You may want to get outside and dye. A lot of people like to dye outside when the weather is really, really nice. We will be going over shortly, sometime over the summer, how to make yourself a portable dye kitchen to dye outside, so stay tuned. The first book is Antique Colors for Primitive Rug Hooking. This uses the Cushing dyes. It's by Emma Lulay and Barb Carroll, who are no longer with us, but they've left us a plethora of directions on dyeing. They love to go over how to dye over textured wool. This is a great book, great recipes. It tells you what colors you need from the Cushing. It breaks it up by color. It tells you the format that they used, a la carte, pot, etc., and lays out everything. But for this book to be useful, you had better read the beginning and to show how they do this, how much wool, the potluck method, getting started. So again, reds, blues, greens. They tell you recommended wools, medium and dark grays. Again, this is great to get rid of textures you're not going to use, and it just goes through golds. We all need good golds. Here's Joan's onion skin, khaki, Nancy's cashmere. Wonderful, wonderful dye recipe. Barb's Playtime. Robin's 1909 Horse. So, Old Wild Rose. Here we go to the book, and I want to show you this. There's not swatches for the book, but what was done for this, these are the wools that they use to over dye with. There are textures, and there's some plain in here as well. But then they go and break this out again, and they show you what the color looks like over these textures. They show you what the color looks like over these textures, which is great. Now, yours may vary a little bit based on your water, based on your measurement, the temperature of your water, how much wool you use, all the normal variables. So, great, great. And then, there's the color wheel, okay? And on the color wheel, you'll have what is considered a red-orange in Cushing, coral, rust, and mahogany. What's a red primary? What's a purple red? So if you're looking to dye a purple red, not a tomato red, or not a pure purple, these are colors in our line, the Cushing line, that would produce a purple red. This is just a great book for this as well. This is a great thing to keep in your dye kitchen. And then when we get over to here, this is really interesting as well, because here's your blues, your antique lights and mediums. A lot of times you never get to see these dyed out. Here's antique darks. And just because they say antique doesn't mean they can't be used in a modern rug. So don't let the name of the book fool you either. These are brown and rust and unusual colors. So you have all of these to look at just as a reference. Don't remember, it may not be exact, but it doesn't have to be. It gives you a reference and gets you in the ballpark. Again, beautiful. This here, the color wheel with Cushing's acid dye, is just invaluable, especially when you want to start to look where you'd like to go in a color, if you don't have any idea. And recipes galore. Absolutely recipes galore. Mousse on the loose brown. That's what we'll end with. Everybody needs a mousse on the loose brown this time of year. So, great book. We have the book. It's on our website and in our Etsy shop as well. But it is on the website, wcushing.com. The next dye book is mine. It's Beautiful Wool in the Dye Kitchen with Me. This has 70 dye recipes. This book is for those that have hooked for a little while or for those that have never hooked. This is the primer for dyeing. It tells you the method, and here is your contents, beginning your dye journey, how to get started. I go through stocking a dye kitchen, to doing spot dyes, diving into the dye pot, what if, dye formulas, 70 of them, dyeing yarns, easy techniques for unique effects, and so on. So the book has quite a few dye types. It gives you the basic primer, gives you the color wheel, it gives you our dye color charts. This is for our acid dye. This is for direct dye, which is for cellulose fibers, cotton, rayon, basket reed, and other plant fibers. So we do go over, if there's a tip, it is highlighted. The tools that you need in the dye kitchen, how to make a portable dye kitchen. There's always hints in each section when you dive into the dye pot. Different dip dyes that you can do. Dip dye is a great way to start. We have a video on how to dip dye and how to repeat a successful dip dye. You can tricolor and bicolor a dip dye, all sorts of things. Here's the basic primer for a spot dye. We go over the spot dye for the tricolors. Kind of a spotty spot, not really as clear. All sorts of different things that can be done. Most importantly, the tips and the hints are not to be missed because they do help you to be successful. We even have sprinkle wool, which is a lot of fun to do. If you've never dyed at all, do the sprinkle wool. Here's our dyeing yarn with some recipes. Love to dye the yarn. It works great if you're going to whip or hook or punch with it. How to create antique black, antique red, antique green. So removing color, our sprinkle, love to do the sprinkle dye. If you've got packs, you don't know what the colors are, get an old ice tray or go to the Dollar Tree, do some sprinkle wool and have some fun. You'll get a unique piece every time. You say, where am I going to use it? Next thing you know, you've run out of it, and it's time to dye again. So you can dye with your kosher salt that you clean with. Now, this chart here is how to make ugly wool pretty. This is the original color of your wool, the dye to use, the end result. So if you've got a pale pink you don't want, you can add 1/8 of a teaspoon of green and get a blue-green. So this is really good for destashing, this is all the light wools, this is destashing your light wools into something wonderful this summer to use over the winter months. And then these are some darker wools that you can use, or plaids. You can age wool, and I have a recipe in here for aging your wool. If you want the rug to look older or you want to age a piece. So here's your what ifs. We get these questions every day here at Cushing, but here's a lot of what if, what did, and some situations and solutions. And I liked a lot of color pictures. Here's your glossary. Here's your, 10 dye formulas. Here's 10 dye formulas. CBW is cups of boiling water. More dye formulas. Tricolors, all sorts in here. All sorts. And there's all sorts of notes on the bottom. Pay attention to those. And you can just dye whatever color you would like. And here is your yarn formulas with pictures. And there you are. Here is Amari. The Amari dye formulas were invented by Joan Moshimer for her oriental rugs. Many were used in herva. A lot of you have hooked herva. Amari dyeing, what you need to know, very important before, and here are the instructions, okay? And then here are all of the Amaris. The Amaris don't fit just for Orientals, they fit for any rug you are hooking. And they just go on and on. Pot dyeing in here, if you've never had success in pot dyeing, read the instructions and you can be successful in your pot dyeing. This is a glossary of terms. A lot of times you don't know what it means in the recipe, so you ignore it or you don't want to try dyeing. This is to inform you what the glossary is, what the terms mean, so you don't need to be afraid. You can dive into the dye pot, you can have a lot of fun, and create some beautiful wool. And that was my hope in this book, that you would create beautiful wool in the dye kitchen. So, beautiful wool in the dye kitchen with me. The next book is also by me, but it is an odd book. When I first came out, a couple of people were astonished that it didn't have my name, it didn't have copyright. It's called Within the Imperfection Lies the Beauty. This is my photography, and that's all it is. This book happens to be on sale this month on our website. These books, there is no copyright on the books. If you want to use it to make a pattern, if you want to use it to inspire you for color. Believe me, these photographs will give you depth definition on how to hook different topics, or how to lay your color in, how to make a modeled background in a defined object. My goal with this book is to give everybody a chance to see what they may not be, to see something they may not be able to, and then be able to hook it. This is a primer for plein air hooking, but you don't have to go outside to hook. Pine cones, very difficult to hook. Here's some great pictures. Tomatoes. Lilacs, my favorite. They're in season right now. I love them. The house is filled with them. Ferns with a rock wool. Bark, of course, another one of my favorites. Everything. Acorn caps, lavender, a beautiful butterfly. And again, there's no words because they're for you to view, they're for you to absorb. Again, a pine cone next to a stone. how it stands out, gives you the definition. Daffodils in the rain. These are all through my eye, but they're also for your eye to pick up definition. And I love it. I hope that you will enjoy it. Here's your rock wall. You want to hook rocks? Study the rock wall. Study the acorn. Study the position of color in the morning glory. Study the different layers. That's what this book is about. This book is not about me getting credit or me trying to copyright everything. It's for you to use, and it's for you to enjoy, even if you don't hook it. Here's a beautiful New England fall scene, but it's for you. Shingles. Of course, more trees in the rock wall. My fence fell apart this winter. Flowers, dandelions, tree bark, iris, another favorite of mine. And I end with my favorite. Here's looking at you, and here's all the layers of colors in bark. So this is a book for you to use. I will sign it if you ask and when you order it. But it's a book for you to use. Proceeds go to the Disabled American Veterans Homes. And I really think that if you need to be inspired, you don't want to hook, you just don't want to pick up a hook, it's too hot, look at the book. My last fun book for the day is from my friend Ellen Banker. Ellen and I are unique spirits together. We have our own little song, which I won't get into because it's no fun if she's not singing it with me. But it's Hooked on Words. She did an awesome job. She is the queen of lettering. If you don't have this book, you need this book. We do have some up on our website. This book is just word after word, how to do it, how to echo. She is all different types, from around the border to these are great. They're her little word bubbles. Of course, my favorite rug that she's ever did, Reward, Lost Cow, Last Seen Jumping Over the Moon. But look at all the letters. Look at all the different ways to do letters. How to incorporate letters. How to incorporate words. How to use them in a background. The Carrot Cookbook. This is one of our sampler patterns that we have by Cactus Needle. All words, but how to make the words stand out, how to make the words recede, how to add interest. It goes on and on. And look, here's Seajoy. This happens to be mine. It is sculpted. These are the sculpted letters. How to make it look like handwriting by Donna Herkman. Very good job on that. But she goes over the different fonts, the different types, what makes a game changer in the rug. And it goes on and on. Here's a sampler. Here's the Heartland sampler that we have the pattern for, and we just finished the class. Here's the floral sampler that we have the pattern for, and so on and so forth. So this is a great book. I love this. Here it is from the front. Here's the hidden message in the back by Bev Conway. So just a wonderful, wonderful information. And just to have fun, enjoy her humor. It's a great read. But if you want lettering, you want to learn how to do any kind of lettering, this is the book. It's called Hooked on Words by Ellen Banker. Another great summer read. So, for May, that is our books of the month. I look forward to doing June in the library with Lisanne and bringing you some more interesting books. For now, have fun and be well.